I think a lot of it was down to Arsenal. No matter how other teams played, I think because there are times where even though our teams were playing, we still could have thrown away and bottled it because when we were battling ourselves, and previous Arsenal teams would have like succumbed to their inner thoughts of like, oh, we're losers, we're bottlers, but we came through, man. I think we had a great season.
Finishing 10th in the league, no European football. ST, remember what I said to you when
Mhm.
Carrick got appointed and Liam Rossini got appointed, and I said, as long as they're doing badly and finishing low in the table, it's always a good day. And obviously, it has come to fruition. They have shot themselves in the foot and self-destructed, and now Chelsea have no European football this season. I will sum up their season absolutely brilliant. It's been a fantastic season for Chelsea Football Club. They could have done a little bit. I'm gonna give it a solid 8. The reason being is they could have finished a little bit lower. They could have finished a little bit lower and it would have got them a 10. Definitely. That 12th place, they could have beaten that 100%. Finished 14th, 15th. That would have made it a 10 out of 10 season for them.
I'm seeing, I know this is going to be, I'd say top 15 probably. For the simple fact is there are things that I have criticisms of him that are valid in the sense that there are some games that like he won't play well for a lot of games and will score. He'll have that one moment. However, that can't be ignored. He's done it more often than not. So that's why I'm saying top 15. I do think there are better players than him in the league.
Bruno like trying to clutch onto something and to try and salvage or make safe face. I don't know what they're going with, but
It's not us, bro. Don't worry.
yeah. Anyway, player of the season. I'm gonna go with a wild one.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Yes, people, another edition of Nights of the Roundtable Discussions where we discuss all sports all the time. Got my guy ST in the building. How are you doing, sir?
I'm all good, man. The grind doesn't stop. We just keep churning out content. You guys are in for a treat. What can I say?
Trust me, the grind doesn't stop. People like our regulars are like, bruh, like what's this, bruv? Like free videos in 1 week. They're like, what is going on? So the newcomers are like, oh yeah, this is brilliant. The regulars are like, yeah, what's going on, bruv? He's like, you lot got rent to pay, innit?
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, I'm telling you. But
Mhm.
listen, people, Footy Chat is back. Listen, we're wrapping everything up. We are wrapping everything up. So we are going to be obviously English footballers, I think. So we're going to be wrapping up the Premier League, obviously discussing, obviously United talks already done. If you haven't seen that, go and watch that. Go and watch that. Mr. KA is in the building, people. We've got our Arsenal fan. They hid from the Champions League
Mhm.
review. But Mr. KA is obviously back because we're talking about the Premier League. It's all of a sudden the Arsenal fans are back in the building. But welcome,
Mhm.
Mr. KA. What are you telling me?
I've come blacked out because I mean business. I'm here.
Oh, look at this
Because
guy.
you guys come with all the talk when I'm not there. But I'm
Because
here,
this
innit?
guy's talking.
I'm
Looking like a
here, bro.
Revo two-pack. This
Here,
one.
bro. No, I'm joking. I don't want that message out there. Edit that bit out. That's not my character, man. You see the
This-
commands? Man of God. Man of God.
He says man of God, but he's just like he's about to rob someone, bro. That's it.
Oh, dead presidents and that, bruv. Man looks like he's going to be coming from dead presidents, bruv. I'm
That's
telling you, but welcome, Mr. K. We've only just started, so it's all good. But people, yeah, we're going to be wrapping everything up to do with the season, including obviously going through other contenders that were in the Premier League, doing our team of the season, manager of the season, and all that good stuff. So you're in for a treat. But as usual, before we start, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Get the likes up, get the subscriptions up, as I say all the time. Share, share, share. We are here, and don't forget to join our social media pages as well. Links are in the description.
Before we start, I would like to also thank you for the amount of new subscribers that we have. Honestly, I was actually quite shocked to see how many people are tuning into the content that we do. We do work hard. We do try. We're all working people outside of this, so the fact that you tune in to listen to our opinions, whether you agree or not, and how can I say, the actual communication with us, whether you agree with us or not, we do welcome it. So thank you.
No, I concur, bro. The engagement's getting a lot better, especially on social media. So we do appreciate it. And obviously, as I said, since Mr. K and the Truth did the poddy with Arsenal winning the league, the subscribers have gone through the roof. So
Mhm.
obviously, shout out to the man them and all the work that
Humble,
all the man
humble.
them are putting in.
Stay humble.
It's not just Mr. K. It's not just the Truth. It's
Stay
not just
humble.
ST. It's not just myself. Obviously, shout out to Tooth as well. Obviously, we're a community and we're a family, and obviously, when all the man that work hard, all we want to do is eat out here. So, we appreciate everybody that and the new subscribers, and long may it continue. But seeing as he wasn't here when when we spoke about Arsenal, we're gonna allow
Mhm.
Mr. KA to retort and come back to us. Obviously, he hasn't been here since the celebration. Obviously, we'll allow him to obviously explain himself in terms of the celebration, how he celebrated, where he was, what he was or was not getting up to during the parade. But in terms of the Champions League final, Mr. KA, first of all, your thoughts, because we didn't actually hear from him in the group chat like, after the Champions League final for obvious reasons. We completely understand after how the game went and how it ended. But Mr. KA, your thoughts and how you felt after the Champions League final that took place last week Saturday.
So what are the obvious reasons? I'm confused.
I was obviously distraught. Like it's the worst way
No.
to lose. It's the worst
Oh
way to
yeah, it was
lose.
upsetting.
Yeah.
Definitely was upsetting. I've got my mate videoed me. He was in the pub watching the game, and obviously going into the game. Oh, if you heard about my day, I had the worst day. I missed the first half of the game because
What?
I was headed
Oh,
into
seriously?
London, yeah, to watch
Oh,
the
okay.
game, and then someone
Oh.
decided to have an accident before the Blackwall Tunnel, and
Inconvenient.
you
Ooh.
know like the link that's like from that
Yeah.
side of
Yeah.
London. That's
Yeah,
the only way to get to
yeah,
East.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, so obviously I was on the way back to the old bits of where I used to live to watch the game with some of my schoolmates. Accident. So I missed the first half. I got there just at the start of the second half. It's crazy. But so I listened to the game, obviously
A
caught a
man
bit of the
didn't even get
highlights.
to celebrate Havertz's goal.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm there doing like fake excitement, going beep beep beep, yeah, like trying to cheer on other Arsenal fans, like who may have been watching it in traffic, along with some other drivers, but
Mm.
not allegedly. But yeah, anyway, the game. I went into the game feeling confident, and obviously, as you guys know, I went into the game feeling confident, but because I knew, even though we were the underdogs, I knew we had a chance in this game. I knew it wasn't going to be a 5-4 Bayern Munich game. I knew it wasn't going to be a 5-0 game. I knew it was. I knew we would be in the game and having a chance. And sorry if I'm a bit sniffly, guys. Nose is a bit. So apologies for that. But overall, I feel like we played the best game that we could. I felt like we were in the game. But take. I heard some of the comments. Mr. ST in his child junior United shirt. I heard some of the comments. From like that shirt's from like he got his kid's shirt, bro. He's still wearing it, bro, proudly. Don't worry, man. I respect him, mate. No. So,
Look, his head
I
is
heard
gone.
your
He can't even
comments, mate. I heard
concentrate.
your comments. That's why, mate. I heard your comments from last week. I had to get you back,
That's
man.
fine. I was
And
right.
after the Champions League. Yeah, lap it up, man. Don't worry, we're coming back, man. We're back. But no, anyway, back to all seriousness. I think we played the best game that we could. We went into the game as underdogs, and we played to the best of our abilities. We limited up until the penalty. We limited their chances. They hardly had any shots on target. We limited them to taking wild pop shots from outside the box, and even the times that obviously I heard ST read off the stats, but the times that we did get in the box, if we made the right pass, we got into some dangerous positions. And we could have killed off the game. And if we took that, honestly, I think if we killed off the game, got that to 2-0, I think that would have won the game for us. I think if we got to Um, when did they score their penalty? Was it just before half time or was it just
No, it
After
was about
after? It was
60th
early
minute.
though.
About
60th
60
minute.
minute, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it wasn't that late. So, but I think if we had weathered that period and got to maybe 75, 70 minutes, which was we were just there, 68 minutes, as you said, I think we could have gone on to win that game. But I think some even say that our good question, did we score too early? Because then that then puts you in we have to defend this lead and defend this. Um, but I think I'm not ashamed of how we played. I know what all the critics are. I'm not ashamed of how we played. I think we played to the best of our abilities, not to harp on for too long. I think we knew our strengths going into the game. We understood who we were playing against, and I think there's a reason. I think TJ, you knew it as well. That's why you predicted 1-1
Mm,
going into 90 minutes because you knew what both teams were capable of.
yeah.
And we're not stupid. We can play that expansive football, but that's not what got us to the consistent wins that got us the title. That's not what's well in the Champions League we didn't really play that as much as we did in the Premiership, but PSG are a different beast. So if we played that football, we get smacked up, and then what would everyone say? What would the Arsenal fans say? So I think we did well in the Champions League final, our first final. We obviously in a long time, in how many years we know all the stats, but last few years we got to semi-final, final. We're gonna make that step up again. So be wary, guys.
You're not.
Second, 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 first.
That was your best opportunity.
Let's
But this
go.
is what I'm saying. This is why I criticized and said what I'm saying. Listen, I understand the way Arsenal play. I'm not saying you should have gone expansive and go band for band with PSG. You can't do that. Those were the right tactics, but in those tactics, what you should do in spurts, you should then, for example, towards the end, you know that there's no opportunities. PSG were pressing, but I feel like you could have put your attacking players in a better position to score goals. I know you had one or two chances with Havertz, for example, being in the box and not shooting earlier, but I know for as someone who attacks as well, in those games, you need a little bit of rhythm. So you need to be in the box and you should have a chance. And I also don't think as good as Arteta has done in the league, you can always win 1-0. You can always hold out to win in the league. It's about a marathon. It's a marathon, not a sprint in the league. But I'm saying um, Arteta needs to take a bit of responsibility for it. Yes, of course, defensively solid against PSG. You don't go gung ho. But the same way he's done um, with all the finals that he's been, barring the first final, which wasn't really his team, he's
Mm.
not gone out to win. And this is against, and I'm talking about the Man City side as well, that they were playing, where they could have gone, where I think Arsenal could have matched them. But it's like Arteta's put them in such a defensive mode that they weren't able to fully um, express themselves. For example, we saw how Arsenal played in the league against Man City. Even though Arsenal lost,
Oh, you're so much better.
Arsenal was so much better. Arsenal
Yeah.
played football.
No, so I agree.
Arsenal,
I agree with that.
yeah, you
Arteta,
understand what
when
I'm
it
saying?
comes to the big games, he reverts to type. Even though he tries
Yes,
to fight it as much as
he can't help it.
possible, he can't help it. I agree with that. And that's why I said going into the Champions League final, we have to keep them honest. We have to play on the front foot, keep them honest and keep them on their toes and not let them get comfortable. And even if I don't think we even allowed them in that final to be comfortable, to play their game 100% the way they wanted to. Kvaratskhelia was hardly and was I'll be honest that he didn't really do anything against Mosquera. Not even our best. He's our third
It's,
choice.
yeah,
That
To be
Mosquera
sorry
made
to
that
interrupt.
one. He made one mistake, and obviously that
Yeah,
cost us the game.
that one mistake was the one time where Saka didn't double with him.
blocked out. Yeah, that's what it
And
was. It
And
was
I
and
was
and
gonna come on to Saka.
yeah.
I was gonna come, and this is where I agree with you because when and this kind of lends to what I said about being honest. That our attackers have to do better in the final third. Keep them honest. Keep them thinking. Keep them. Don't let them get comfortable where they're playing a sort of second nature sort of game where okay we'll pop it about. This is what we're used to. We're gonna create our chances. We rely on our talent. But Saka should have done more. He didn't have his best game. This is why I was calling for Calafiori to play chaos ball. He will get into position being unpredictable. Hincapié, he's had a great second half of the season or last third of the season, but going forward, that's his weakness. Even though he's okay, better than I think most people give him credit for going forward, but that's one of his weakest parts of his game. And so they can contain that in all the attacking areas. Mascara, we've got Mascara. So we've got no attacking, really attack from the wing backs. Trossard played okay. He had a decent game. Again, Saka didn't. So as we talked about, our attacks down the wings, we didn't have the players in the right form or positions to do the right thing or like to keep them honest. So there were failings, but overall, I think with what the hand we were dealt going into that final, I think we did okay. I think we did a good job. I think we made it. What's the saying? We made a good account of ourselves. That's it. What I was trying to say. So yeah, no, obviously, but then again, saying again, I was disappointed after that final because even though I knew we were underdogs, I thought we had a chance. And then no one wants to lose on penalties. And then in the way we did, oh my days. Eze, please
It has
just
happened to a nicer
run
person.
and kick a ball. Please. All this stop start. But then we can say that because when you stop start and you miss, it looks bad. But when you score, you're like, yeah, well done. You wait for the keeper to move.
But that's
Gabriel,
the way he takes penalties.
I
So I
know
can't
we
really
saw the
blame. I can't
compilation
really
of
blame
like,
Eze for that.
no, but you can't really blame him. How many has he missed for Crystal
Bro, he
Palace?
has missed. But at the end of the day, yeah, again, I'm not going to criticize. You know, fair enough. Eze took the penalty, and I'm laughing at Gabriel because for me, I know what he is as a person. Like he's a troll, so I'm a troll when it comes to that. But at least they had the balls to take the penalties. For me, Madueke and Zubamendi are the
Yeah,
ones that
yeah. No,
I
I
get on
agree.
to.
I
No,
agree.
that is like both of them. Like they know how to
No,
kick a
I
ball.
agree.
Gabriel should have been in that position. That's what
Yeah. No, I agree.
if
I
I'm
agree.
if I'm
And
looking at Gabriel, I'm looking at Eze. Even though they missed the penalty, I'm looking at my teammates like, bro, you guys are any really and truly midfielders and forwards or people who've been in the club long enough should be the first ones to take the penalties. So Zubamendi's technique is very good. He should take a penalty. Madueke, as we previously said, this guy was the one that was fighting Cole Palmer and all these
yeah,
people for
I know
penalties.
Copama. I know. No,
When
but
it,
that,
but when
that
it really, but that's how it is. When he really wanted to be the big bad man, and you had an opportunity to take the penalty, he was nowhere to be seen, and that's
I,
what I feel. If I'm Arsenal fans, I'd be so frustrated because trolling aside, yeah, and I know everything, and I always troll a lot. Arsenal did the right game plan. It's just that I felt that they could have attacked in a better way. If I'm being honest, they could have pressured PSG more because I think, especially Marquinhos, I think PSG's team was there for the taking in terms of defensively. However, you got them to the penalty shootouts. Well done to that. You get your best strikers on the board to take a penalty. Obviously, I know you had substitutions, but Zubamendi and Madueke, yeah, should have at least stepped up for me personally. And I feel if I'm an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't be happy with that because you've
oh
put
yeah, we all know.
you
We all
put
know.
yeah you put Gabriel on. You really put Gabriel under the bus. You put so
No, but I think the Arsenal fans responded well to him. I think there's a lot of support behind him, especially I think both players really, but more Gabriel. I don't know if you heard about our shirt sales. He shot up by like two
yeah.
thirds, and then it all bought him a shirt, and then But what I don't get as well, if okay, Arteta, he said he's taking it. Why let him take the fifth penalty? Put s- Let someone else. He's a defender. Let him. He shouldn't be taking the most important penalty unless you know he's a 30, like he's a Sergio Ramos penalty taker.
But what to be fair, and listen, like I said, I think Gabriel will have told him, like, listen, I'm confident I will do this for the team. He's probably thinking, looking around, nobody's wanted to take the penalty.
I
Gabriel
know. Yeah,
is
he's looking at with the face.
the
Yeah,
character to be like, yeah, I'll take it, which I rate at the end of the day. But it's just that Mandem was shying for it. That's basically what it was.
I know. I
Um,
know. I'm getting
and
flashbacks, man. I'm
Zubamendi
getting PTSD right now, man.
and Zubamendi again. I've seen him take penalties. Zubamendi is very good at taking penalties, and yeah, and Madueke, even Madueke is good at taking penalties himself. But I don't know why. Anyway, we all know why. Anyway, I
Nah,
agree.
the Madueke is the biggest one for me because even Suamendi, I don't blame him for shot. He's our defensive midfielder. He's not expected to be having that ball striking skill. Even though we've seen him like have take score boxes goals from outside the box. a couple this season and from inside the box. But yeah, I don't blame him, but I don't know. I was just having flashbacks to seeing Gabriel walking up, and everyone's like, "Why Gabriel? Like he's a defender. Why is he taking off his penalty?" And then I sent it over the bar. I just hit the target, man.
It was
That's
beautiful.
that's. Did you see those fans that were having the all-time hate watch, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Over Diva." Oh, I know
Over
you.
Diva.
Was you there?
Over
I'm sure you
Diva.
was.
I wasn't there, but I was there in spirit.
Ah, yeah. I won't say amen to that. Don't worry.
You can start first because obviously Arsenal have done really well this season. You lot are the champions. You lot have been the most, for me honest, been the most consistent team. But as an Arsenal fan, how do you think overall your Premier League season has gone? What do you think went well? What do you think needs to be improved? And yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I wish I had the season stats in front of me or like the season events, but I think obviously overall we had a I cannot say anything apart of bad about this season, anything less of saying we had a great season because we ended up champions.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we had a great start to the season. First half of the season, we had that record of our defensive records where there was even talk of Arsenal breaking Chelsea's record of like the
Mm-hmm.
most clean sheets in the season and like conceding the less goals. Sorry, that's the record, wasn't it? Conceding the least amount of goals in the season because that period, let alone conceding a little amount of goals, we were not letting people even have shots on target. There was games where we were
No,
going
no, I
through
remember.
like no one had a shot, no one had one shot on target. Like how if you really deep that and think about how can you go like back to back 90 minutes and not have one shot on target? Like that's crazy. But I think that's when the first half of the season our defense was like literally at its pomp, like it was creme de la creme right there. And I think that gave us a good foundation going into the second half of the season. Um the work unsung heroes, Saliba and Gabriel, and like people will speak of them as like they yeah, how can you say that they're unsung heroes? Because they were that's why Arsenal won our defense. But you can go through and you can go through each player individually in that line or back five. But I think out of all of them, Saliba was the unsung hero out of everyone. He was the glue, in my opinion, in that team. I know Gabriel will get all the plaudits because he's the more aggressor, but Saliba was a gentleman in that defense. He's the one who just was calm, cool, and collective, kept everyone on song, everyone singing the same hymn sheet. He was a conductor, and I loved Saliba this season. I love a lot of our players because everyone contributed. But I think Saliba, uh, if I was to rank Arsenal players, he'll be in my top five for the season. Um, but obviously not to get too distracted on players. I think we had a good first half of the season. I think we performed well. I think that's where we peaked in the first half of the season because coming into the second half, and I think that's when all the players were also playing their best football.
Mm.
So I think second half of the season, I think we had to rely on certain players to carry us in certain moments because this you know get talked about a lot, but we had a lot of injuries throughout the
You
season.
did.
There's players that were out for not even just 1 or 2 games; they were out for like a month, 3 weeks minimum, and players had to step up. And I think everyone who came into the team performed, and it reminded me so much of our Invincible season, where everyone who came in, that first 50, that 15 players, let's say, I wouldn't even call it first 11, I'll call it first 15 because everyone who came in played at a level, whether it was Wiltord coming in scoring winners at Old Trafford, or whether it was if it was Ray Parlour coming in for when or Edu coming in, like we had players that will step up, Kanu coming in, like these are legendary players and they weren't even first team
Mm.
starters. So I think this season reminded me of that team. I'm not saying that they're as good as that team. I'm not saying that they were better. I'm just saying as a squad, as a team, they stepped up when called upon, and I feel overall that helped us when we were at our low points, and you can give shout outs to a lot of players um throughout the season because they all stepped up. Trossard, first half of the season, he was our guy that got us goals. Um, Mendy chipped in, but then obviously second half later after he tailed off. But second, so anyway, so coming back to Arsenal, second half of the season, that's when we started to get a bit shaky. Our defensive record wasn't as solid, and then
Mhm.
it was a bit more noticeable where we were hanging on into games. Every game felt like there was a high stakes in it. There was a lot of jeopardy involved in every game. Playing on edge, we talked about it a couple of times, where every game felt like a tense moment that can go either way. But I think this year the team showed a lot of character, showed a lot of resolve, showed a lot of fight and determination that um, even though we might be down in the game, even though we've just lost the game where we should have won, we'll bounce back. It was a period of time where every time after a loss of the game, we always bounced back and went on a run. Like when we dropped points to Sunderland, when we dropped points to Wolves, when we dropped points to Man United, we always went on a little run where it was like, okay, oh, something gonna happen. Or like, are they gonna fumble and lose momentum? Are we gonna let City back in? And obviously, that's part of this Arsenal season as well. How well or how the lack of quality in other teams. We have to admit that, I'll be honest. But I think Arsenal were deserved winners because of how we showed our resolve over that 38 games, how consistent we were. Even when our levels dipped, we found a way and we showed that fight throughout the season. And I feel like we had a lot more characters in our team that didn't allow us to mess up and throw away that league title, whereas in other seasons we would have. And I think experience played a bit part of that. I think players that it's the signings, we have to give a shout out to Mikel Arteta. Like I think he managed the season really well. And he talked about how difficult it was this season, where um he was starting to even run. He talked about how he was starting to run out of ideas, and he had to go to unconventional means to motivate the players. And yeah, we all laughed at the pen, we all laughed at the light bulbs and the TikTok videos, but it was working for Arteta. It was working for the team. It was keeping them refreshed, kept them going. And there was stuff that we didn't even hear about or we don't even see that I think even Declan Rice talked about in some of his interviews. Obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan. I watch most of the interviews and stuff like that, so I don't expect you lot to know all of that or see that. But obviously, I thought maybe you do. Like Declan Rice talked about that, whereas like some of the things that Arteta did behind the scenes, he's like unheard of. But just because of Arteta's nature and the way he speaks and his belief, um, and how he kind of encouraged the team and he was like man managed them, that helped them get over the line. So overall, I think from top to bottom, I think we had a great season. I believe outside of Arsenal Football Club and whatever is said, I feel like Arsenal made themselves proud, and I think and you saw by the celebrations they made the fans proud. So I feel like overall, I don't want to be harping on. I could talk about it all day, but I feel like we had a great season. I feel like I can't say anything less than that, being champions. Um, and I think it's deserved in our play. Whether it was Harambo, as they want to say, whether it was too defensive, it wasn't expansive. But I feel like we played to our strengths. Um, and we learnt from previous years and we got ourselves over the line. So shout out to Arsenal and I applaud all of them.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. So Arsenal, to be fair, and I'm going to give you guys credit. I reckon for the past, I wouldn't say Liverpool, but the year before when Man City picked you to the league, I thought Arsenal were the best team in the league. It's just that you lot, obviously, towards the end, let Man City back in. I agree with what you said about Saliba. I think Saliba has been the brains around the defense. So I'm not obviously I know I'm not comparing them two, but it was a more of a similar like a real Vidic person where, for example, Saliba was the one who was the more composed centre back, and Gabriel was like your Vidic where he was the more aggressive front foot defender. I think as your spine of your team, so it was very good. So I have to give Gyökeres, even though I don't think he's best on
I'm
the
saying
ball.
there's so many players I could
So
even
many
mention. Yeah,
players, yeah.
yeah,
So
David
your
Raya. Oh,
spine was really good. Declan
yeah,
Rice. So from Declan Rice, from Saliba to Gabriel, your Raya. What we say is title winning teams. The spine has to be very important. Your spine was very good. I think that Arsenal were very consistent in the way that they played. I think that Arsenal learned from previous years. They didn't get too high and they didn't get too low. Even after all the outcry, even after the frustration of fans, they knew how to handle it. Um,
shout out to Eze for
trolling
that, man.
aside, I trolling aside, I do think it was Arsenal's time this year. It's fully deserved. The table doesn't lie. It was a marathon, not a sprint. Especially towards the end when you needed your points and the goals that you scored. Um, as you said, Trossard came up trumps. Other people like Havertz scored important goals. Eze scored important goals when you needed it. A lot of 1-0s, a lot of clean sheets. And at the end of the day, if you concede less and score the amount of goals you scored, you have a chance of winning the league. And I have to say, as it kills me to say, Arsenal were the best team in the league. They deserved it. I'm not going to say long may it continue. We hope it doesn't. But honestly, I think Arsenal deserved to win it. They were the better team. You have every right to celebrate your trophy because you hadn't won it in a while. And to be honest, it was coming. So I think your season was a very good season. I don't know how you'd score it personally. For me, I know you won the league. I'd say, if I'm being realistic, I'd say an 8 out of 10. And the only reason why I'd say it would be more is if you played slightly more attacking football.
No, I
But then,
agree. I
but that's
agree.
but that's what if I'm having this, if I'm an 8 out of 10 season win the league, no complaints. If you understand what I mean. So Arsenal well deserved. They deserve to have their parade. Like, I can't hate on that, even though I'm a true troll. But Arsenal deserve to win the league,
Oh,
and
people
yeah.
have found ways
Oh, listen,
to.
you already know I'm a hater, I'm a troll, but at the same time, when it when I come to reason, when I say what I honestly feel, I do think Arsenal were the better team. I do think that, to be fair, Arsenal should have killed off the league a while ago, because I think, as you previously said before, the teams like Man City weren't the same team. Man United were just building, even though we were improved, we're nowhere near you guys at the moment. Aston Villa don't have the consistency. Liverpool were a mess at the time. Chelsea, that's all I'm going to leave it as that. So, yeah, well done.
But
Deservedly.
obviously, again. That shows again back to the character and the strength of the team
Yeah.
because even though the other teams wasn't at their peak or their best, um, we still nearly lost the league at one point.
Mhm.
So again, that was the testament and the character that of the team to drag themselves through that period. After Bournemouth, that could have been it. Most teams would have like it felt like it was over. Um, and Arsenal team of previous years, that would have been the point, especially
Yeah.
coming after a loss to City.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. Obviously we can dissect. We can go about Arsenal about so many ways where obviously you need your luck and fortune. Where we went out the season, we went through the season without conceding a penalty. That's major fortune. We went through the season, but then you could argue that's how good we are defensively, but how can you go throughout a season without misplacing one foot? Like it happened. So there is fortune. Uh, but I think a lot of it was down to Arsenal. No matter how other teams played, I think because there are times where even though other teams were playing, we still could have thrown away and bottled it because when we were battling ourselves and previous Arsenal teams would have like succumbed to their inner thoughts of like, oh, we're losers, we're bottlers, but we came through, man. I think we had a great season.
Remember, Arsenal also scored a lot of last minute goals, a lot of goals after the 85th minute.
Yeah,
So, to win the title. So
yeah,
that's
at grounds as well that we would that
it's
we
a,
that we
it's a sign of champions. What can I
yeah.
say? If my team was doing that towards the end of the season in the most important things, you don't care how you win towards the end. You're just trying to get over the line. So Arsenal, especially like I said, that West Ham result, I knew both me and TJ said after that result, if you win against West Ham, because we know how difficult it is. Not many teams win there, and they're very strong at home. You guys got the win, and we knew that the Man City team, as you said, they're not the best team at the moment. They in a bit of a transition period, but at the end of the day, Arsenal fans don't care. At the end of the day, you lot did your job. You lot stayed mentally strong, even after all the setbacks that you had. Well deserved. What can I say? What can I say? TJ, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Apologies, technical difficulties. That's enough of that Arsenal loving, bro. We're gonna spend half an hour talking
Man,
about
we
this,
ain't heard you
this
Yeah,
talk
team,
about
bro.
bro.
Arsenal, man. No,
People
no,
say
no.
I'm a hater,
Bruv,
but
See,
I can be
you're
honest.
you're allowing ST to like do all the talking, and like
I
he's
wasn't
hurting
here.
right now.
I
But you're
wasn't
He
here
wasn't
now.
here.
here. He
You're
wasn't here.
back.
He wasn't
I've
here.
already said everything that I need to say on
I didn't
Arsenal.
hear. I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it.
I said it when
I
you
didn't
lot were
hear it.
celebrating winning the
I didn't
league,
hear it.
and I said it in the Champions League
Yeah, I'm
review
still
as
waiting for my
well.
guard of honor, man. But I'll take it now. Go on, give me a speech, and then
Nah,
forget about the guard of honor.
there's no speech from. I concur with everything that ST said. At the end of the day, the table doesn't lie. When you go 38 games and you finish on top, nobody can say nothing to you. It doesn't matter how you do it. Yes, there were complaints about the way how Arsenal won it, but when you haven't won it, when you haven't won it for 22 years, like you just get over the line and the heartbreak of finishing second 3 times. You do what is possible, whatever's possible to win it, and you lot
But
done that.
even
And
that, even that was a bit of a stretch because when Chelsea were having that defensive record, no one was and Mourinho defensive football, fossil football. No one was
exactly,
complaining about that. Everyone was
I
like
mean, yeah.
lauding.
well, for the first season, yeah, the second season, I think people were complaining about how it was because that's how the whole Mourinho
Yeah,
masterclass was coming in. So people weren't a fan of it. But obviously, them only conceding, what was it, 14 goals in a
15,
season,
15.
15 goals in a
Yeah,
season. Like, I don't care how negative you are. That
that's
is
ridiculous.
crazy. Nobody
Yeah,
is beating that record ever.
yeah.
But I think that you do what you can. I don't listen to what people have to say. Now, going into next season, if you lot try and do that again, yes, you're
No,
going
it
to get
won't
your
work.
critics, and rightly so, because it's no longer the pressure of, oh, we haven't won it for however long. But you do
But the
what is
pressure is
necessary.
getting back to back, and that's important. I think that would
Yeah,
be very
because you've never
important.
done it.
That'd be very important.
Because you've never done it. Oh, the only teams that have done the back to back is us, Chelsea, and Man City in the Premier
Yeah.
League. I know Liverpool have done it in the previous um, first division. But in terms of going back to back in the Premier, it's only us, Chelsea, and Man City that have done it. So it's something that you guys will. That's the next step for you guys. Can you do the double? Can you do the repeat? And again,
Yeah.
as the truth said, he's looking at it as a dynasty. He's like, now we are top dogs. There's no more Pep. There's no more Klopp. Obviously, a lot of teams are in a rebuild, so the league is there for the taking for you guys again. And I would make you lot favourites for the league next season. There's no doubt about it because you're the most settled. The manager's been there for a long period of time. You've got 2 players in every position. You're going to strengthen again in the summer, and there's a level of consistency that you lot have been playing at as to why you lot wouldn't be the favourites. And to put the cherry on the top, I picked you lot to win the league this season. I was the only
You
one
did.
that did. So. Yeah, congratulations to Arsenal. We'll
But
see
I
what.
will kind of disagree about what it is. I do think that it wouldn't be like it will be a challenge for Arsenal to win next year. I know what people are saying. They can't play the way they played this season, and I'm unsure where they will strengthen. I reckon Arteta may think that the squad that he has is good enough and settled.
Well,
I don't
you've
know. Something's telling me like
well, you've
he
got
thinks
you've got Martin Kelly, Jesus, Trossard, all got 12 months left. You got Reece Nelson, who they're going to be looking to get rid of, as well as Fabio Vieira. There is a possibility that they could get rid of Wanyeri as well for pure profit. So there are going to be changes in that team because they're not
But
going to. They're
Odegaard
not
has 2 years as well. A couple of
who.
players have
Yeah,
Odegaard
but
2 years.
but
Jesus.
but um, Jesus Martinelli and Trossard with 12 months. I don't see him renewing any of these guys' contracts, so they will be looking to move them on. So they're going to have to strengthen
I think even Havertz as well. I think he's
they're
got
gonna
2 years, I believe.
yeah, they're gonna have to strengthen on the left wing. There's no doubt about it. They'll probably be looking to bring in another right back. They need another number 6. So those are three key areas for them that they're going to need to strengthen in. So listen, we'll see what happens with Arsenal and whatnot.
Can I
This
ask
is
a question quickly?
go on.
I got into this debate in the pub after the Champions League final with a Man United fan, and I say that's important from my perspective, because he asked a question: would you rather Arsenal go back to back or win Champions League, or finish fourth or fifth and win Champions League? And I said at the time, I said Champions League because we've gotten over the line in the PL in the Premier
Mm,
League,
mm,
and we've got that monkey off our back, and the big ears is still there that we haven't won. But then he came from the perspective, I think Arsenal should go and prioritize going back to back because you've never done that as well,
mm,
and it's about creating a dynasty. But
mm.
then I said to him, I see your point, but are you speaking from the perspective of a Man United fan and not thinking of it especially as an Arsenal fan or an Arsenal obviously team and organization? Because Man United have already won it.
Mm.
But then
Mm.
and he was like, but then obviously I wasn't sure if he understood it, but he was just like being king of be winning Champions League and not winning your Premier League and we're not winning your league title, it kind of waters down the best team in Europe argument because you're not even the best team in your league
Okay,
over
I
38 games. So I don't know. So it was an interesting debate, but obviously I know it's gonna. I don't want to. Obviously, I'm adding it to the to the rundown. This wasn't part of it, but what's quick opinions of like that?
I, I I would say this. I understand that to a certain extent. For you to win, obviously we've seen PSG. They've done it back to back. They've won it twice. They've won their league and won the Champions League. Who won it before PSG?
Um,
Was it Real
I want to
Madrid?
say was it
Real
Madrid?
Madrid.
Okay, yeah,
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 I think it
yeah.
was Real Madrid, and I think Real Madrid.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was,
But
yeah.
I can't remember. I don't think Madrid. No, no. Yeah,
They
Real
didn't win
Madrid.
their league, didn't
No, I
they?
think they did. I think they did. I think they did the league and Champions League double that season, and it's the past two seasons where they've won nothing. Um, but so I get it from that context, but the fact that you have never won a major European trophy, the Champions League has to be the be all of it. You have to get that monkey off your back. Like as far as I'm concerned, I understand what he's saying because it waters it down. Nobody cares because when they engrave your name on that trophy,
This is part of my. I said that
when
to him.
they engrave
I
that
said
name
that
on
to
that
him.
trophy and you see the Champions League montage for the following season and you're lifting the trophy, nobody cares. Nobody cares because that gets that argument off the back. Everybody, it's the same. It's the stick that you've been beaten with for donkey's years, and obviously because you didn't get over the line this time, it's the same stick that you're being beaten with, and not just by teams that won the Champions League. You got Crystal Palace fans beating you with that stick.
Not even that. You got teams that have like so irrelevant, always consistently finishing bottom half of the table.
Yeah,
No pedigree in the league or in
yeah,
Europe. Say it, singing song, oh, Champions of Europe, you never sing that. But even
yeah.
that, put that to the side. I part of my argument was like, there's no guarantee we'll get there next season to the final
Mm.
because we are when it comes to the Champions League, we're not in those pool of teams that are like you expect to go far and to get to the finals
I think,
and have a good chance. We're not Real Madrid. We're
yeah,
not Bayern
yeah.
Munich.
You're
We're
not
not
Bayern Munich, you're not
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
We're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
Man City. Where these
yeah.
teams you expect them that at the start of the season, that's part of their mandate.
Mm.
Champions League or bust. Arsenal, they're not. We're not expected to get Champions League or even get to the finals.
I think next season you will be because obviously as I said it's been quarterfinal, semi-final, final. So there may be a level of expectation, but obviously I get it. At the beginning of every Champions League, when they say who's going to win it, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Man City, PSG, those are the five, and PSG is only of recent themselves. But those are the five that. But PSG of recent in terms of winning it. But even before that, because of the names that they had, there was a level of expectation that they were going to win it themselves. So you have those five. And when you're talking about it coming out of England, yes, Manchester City are that team that everyone expects, but that's because of the money that they spent A and B, who their manager was, who was no longer there. So, but I just see it as the Champions League would be way more important to win than the Premier League. You take fourth place, getting Champions League football again, and winning the Champions League over doing the repeat in the league. But obviously,
Yeah, that was my argument.
from a fan's perspective, you want it all, so you want it, but you want them both. because then that dismisses both arguments. We won the league and we won the Champions League. What are you saying? Because we're the best team. We're the best team in England and we're the best team in Europe. End of.
And I also think that's part of building a dynasty, getting that Champions League
Yeah.
medals and that title on the belt.
Because those players become immortal. Because, as I said, you haven't done it. So those players become immortal. Obviously, winning the league is great, but obviously it's fantastic, and everyone you want to win the league. That's a given. But the fact that a team like for example, winning the Champions League as Real Madrid, you don't become immortal because of that, because of the amount of times that they win it. Winning the Champions League with Arsenal when you've never won it, those players become immortalized. You will never be forgotten because you will be the first and you will eclipse anything else that has happened at that football club. So, yeah, if I was an Arsenal fan, yes, I want to win them both. But if I was in a scenario in which it's fourth in the Champions League or winning the league, I'm picking the Champions League all day long.
Same for you.
Just to experience that, just to win it, just become immortal, and obviously as a bonus, shut out the rival fans because now they can't even use that against us anymore. But yeah, anyway, we need to move on.
So, I just know when you started talking about the Champions League, it reminded me of that debate that I had over the weekend. So
which is fair.
Opinions.
Which is fair. But listen, obviously Arsenal deserved. There was always going to be an Arsenal segment deserved of winning the Premier League. But listen, obviously United talk's already done. As I said, you hop over to that channel, that vid and watch that.
Do you know was that an hour of talking about Bruno's assist trophy?
No chance.
Or player of the season.
No chance.
This is what I'm saying.
No chance.
We're not one of those fans.
I think he got about 5-6 minutes, and even then, it wasn't over celebration. But look, we need to talk about the runners-up in the Premier League, and that is Manchester City, because they're going through this massive transition now. Obviously, Pep's 10 years done, 10 years of winning so many trophies there. Mascara is imminent. It's just they've just got to sort out the compensation with Chelsea and paying that fee. And it looks like Mascara's coming in. Obviously, he knows the club. He was there with Pep. He understands the Premier League. ST, from your perspective, this transition now for Manchester City, first of all, is Mascara the right man for the job? And secondly, with him coming in, what should be, I know obviously when we get to the new season we'll ask this, but what will be his priority to sort out before the season starts? If it is him, I know we know it's him, but yeah.
Okay, so I don't think he's the right guy because of what I've seen from Chelsea. However, I will say this: he knows the club very well. He knows the owners very well. He would have had an idea of what players he wants. So it's not as mad as him going back because he knows the infrastructure of City. He knows how things work. Most of the players know who he is, or have played under him, or he is coached or assistant coach. So I can see why they did it. It makes logical sense. In terms of where they need to improve, centre backs, because I do think they lack depth in that. So Kusanov has done very well, by the way. I'll give him credit. But Ake is getting older. You've got Stones that's leaving. Ruben Diaz has been injured. They need to strengthen their fullbacks because I don't think they've done pretty well. O'Reilly isn't a fullback, even though he's done really well. Mateus Nunes is not a left back.
He's done decent.
He's decent, but he's not a right back. Nori's technical, very decent, but he hasn't had the greatest of seasons for them, so they can strengthen them. I also do think they need, and I think we spoke about it previously. They need an injection of speed in the midfield. I do think they have decent technical players, but someone like, for example, what we mentioned is Elliot Anderson potentially maybe going towards City. That would improve their defense their midfield, because I do think Man City lack a lot of actual speed in the midfield, like actual running ability in the midfield, not technical running ability, which you need in the Premier League. Wingers, I think they're okay, but you can always use depth. For like Doku has done pretty well. He's had a decent season this year. Semenyo has scored a lot of goals, but they could have a different sort of winger. a creative winger, someone who likes to create. I don't. Semenyo and Doku are well, especially Semenyo is shoot first, and they also need a 10 that would feed Haaland the ball. And I think
Well,
this is
that's what they
what
got Shirky for.
yes, but Shirky
Like
is not.
he thinks of himself first before.
No, I wouldn't even say he thinks
I
of him.
see what. No, but I see what you mean, though. I mean, like he's a what can I do first kind of player before he looks for the pass.
No, but I
Whereas
think he's an original 10.
KDB was always looking for that pass as soon as
Yeah,
he got the ball forward. I kind of maybe I didn't explain it properly, but I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Mm.
yeah, yeah. I know what you're saying. But Shirky, I wouldn't say he's playing for himself. I'm saying Shirky is an original 10 back in the day where he likes to link play, he likes to bring other players into the game, but obviously still using his flair and everything like that. But he's not someone who, for example, you see the run of Haaland who makes very good runs. He's not going to be a
Mm.
Kevin De Bruyne who plays the ball at a different weight with both feet. So maybe they can have a differentiation of that. And yeah, because I think that this Man City team, even though they've got good players, they may struggle because um, the cohesion is not there. The midfield can get overran, and I do think their defense is vulnerable. Um, that's what I've said. Goalkeeper period. I don't know. Obviously, Donnarumma is a good keeper, and obviously Trafford's a very good goalkeeper. But I don't know if Trafford will stay there after being promised that he'd be the number one keeper. Man City, they have slightly a few problems, but obviously it's not going to be picked up because they finished second. And they had two trophies, but
Well, this is
they
it,
have
and
problems.
how do we see Manchester City season? I know based off their history, it's not the best season, but the fact of the matter is that they finished second, whereas last season they finished third.
Yeah,
Um, they won the FA Cup, they won the League Cup, so there was silverware won. How the thing is that because of how high their bar's been set, it will be seen as a decent season, whereas for most other teams, that's a brilliant season for them. So how do we see that sum up their season? Is it a good season? Is it a decent season? Is it underwhelming? Like how do we see it?
for their season, I would say okay. I'm going to give them a for their standards. It's really in reality, it's a 7 out of 10. But I'm gonna probably say 6.5 for their standards because
Mm,
they really wanted to do well in the Champions League.
yeah,
And even in the league, I know they say they ran Arsenal close on the looks of it, but if I'm being very honest, Arsenal were the dominant team. It's just that Arsenal let a few games slip by. Arsenal could have wrapped up this league ages
yeah,
ago. And I
yeah,
think that Arsenal were a lot better than City. I don't personally think it was close. I think Arsenal made it close. So I think that was a bit worrying for them. And I think that I wouldn't say it has been a bit of an underwhelming season. It's been a it's not like it's a sacking season.
yeah.
It's a satisfying transitional season.
Fair,
So if
fair.
you were to give a mark out of 10, I would probably say for their standards, what they're thinking about is a 6.5. In
Yeah,
everybody else's standards, that's a good season, very good season. But
yeah,
for what they anticipated to win and what they thought they would do, yeah, I think that Man City, especially with the way that Barry Stein and all the directors in Man City they would think that they all came from Barcelona.
mm,
They're used to winning the league. They're used to challenging for the Champions League, which they honestly didn't do this year. That's another stain on what the season is. The FA Cup and the Carabao Cup are probably to them seen as mandatory in a way. Like
mm.
that's the cups where it doesn't really mean much to them. What their history is based off is winning the leagues and the Champions League. So they won't be happy with the way they performed in both of them. But they had it's a 6.5 out of 10 season, underwhelming, but yet you got the job done in two trophies and room for improvement.
Which is fair. And listen, we'll see how they get on. Manchester City, see how they rebuild. It's going to be interesting for them in an upcoming season, especially now without Pep. So it's going to be interesting to see which direction they go in. Moving on, KA, to the team that most people actually tipped to win the league, not me.
Yeah.
ST, Tooth, and a lot of pundits tipped them after the transfer window that they had. Liverpool, with a very, I know, a very underwhelming season for them, obviously finishing fifth. And Lord Veris has now been sacked as well on top of that. How do you sum up Liverpool's season, KA? And how did they got Champions League football? But considering what was it, 500 mil spent in the summer,
Yeah.
and everyone thinking they were going to walk the league, how would you sum up Liverpool's season?
Yeah, similar to gosh, I feel icky, like I'm agreeing with a lot of what ST is saying, like, and his views. I don't know, but no, I think like similar to what he said about City, and we kind of touched on it in the Arsenal section. Very underwhelming season. I think I don't know if it ended up being this at the end of the season, but at one point it was the worst ever title defense of any team in history. They got
I
off to
don't
a
think it was the worst because remember
Chelsea, yeah.
Chelsea,
Finished
Chelsea
12th.
was it 16, 17?
Yeah, 12th. They finished
Yeah,
12th.
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think it was on course at one stage.
it
yeah,
was.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
very
yeah.
surprised they ended up finishing fifth, was it? Or fourth? Yeah, fifth or
Fifth, yeah,
fourth.
fifth.
Yeah, fifth. I'm very surprised they ended up finishing fifth because their first half of the season that they had was terrible is even an understatement. But I think it took a long time for their players to acclimatize to the Premier League. I think individually they were facing individual battles. The players trying to find, I think, their footing, trying to find some confidence, and I think some of them probably had imposter syndrome, thinking, "Am I really good enough for this league?" Like, and this price tag maybe get into them, like Florian Wirtz, um, and that price tag that he's had, that big price tag, we didn't. It took him a while, like way into the second half before he started getting a couple of goals and assists.
Mm.
Um, Mo Salah, you can argue that he down tools because he was beefing with the manager. So there's a lot, and obviously, I don't think it's an excuse, but it certainly didn't help the whole Yota situation just before the
Of
start of the
course, of
season
course.
as well.
It affected them badly.
Mm.
Yeah,
Badly.
I think it did have their effects in it, and but then I think it affected them. But then you can say, obviously, a lot of the new players that are coming in, they didn't have that personal connection with Yota as some of the other players did. So. Um, Yeah, obviously, but who's me to be speaking on how such a sad situation could affect someone? Because yeah, anyway, let's not even go into all of that. But Liverpool's season, overall, I think they'll be very disappointed in their season. I think they had a very poor season despite where they finished, especially coming into it as a defending champions and how well they played last, let's say, 5 seasons, where
Mm.
the Klopp was when he was in his peak, in his prime, getting them playing rock and roll, heavy metal football, and even with Slot in his first season, he inherited the Klopp team, and he didn't have to change much, and they won the league. So I think they had a poor season. I felt like they finished as strong as they could.
Mm.
But I think they'll be disappointed in their season. I think they didn't have a great season, and it will be a continue with the scoring theme. Yeah, it'll be similar. It'll be like a no, I would say even a five. Just because they're champions, I'll drop it another mark. I would say it's a 5 out of 10, or
You're
even a
being
4 point.
generous.
You'll be
Yeah,
nice.
You're
I was
getting
about to say
generous.
even a 4.5. Like,
I
because
think it's a 3 out of 10, bro. I'll be honest.
yeah,
And I'm not even trying to ban.
they crossed my mind. Those numbers crossed my mind. But I thought their finish to the season kind of like clawed back some sort of respect.
Which is fair because at one point you were thinking that would they even qualify for the Champions League?
Yeah.
It was looking kind of sketchy, but they managed to claw their way back. But um, ST on Lord Veris, obviously, he won the league and then spent 500 mil trying to change a Klopp team because he wanted to make it his own. Obviously, brought in Isak, Ekitike, Vert, Kerkez, Frimpong. I'd probably say the only one that worked was Ekitike, personally. And then falling out with the pyramid pennant. And the style of football that he wanted to play just wasn't conducive to what Liverpool have been used to under Klopp, and that's what they want. So it was inevitable, really, that it was going to come to a head. I'm surprised they took so long and then lost out, obviously, to the team we're going to speak about after, to Chelsea for Xabi Alonso, because it just looked natural that that was going to be the next manager that was going to come in for them. But it was a shit show from start to finish, and I think it was becoming untenable because we know Liverpool fans, when we see Liverpool, they like to back their manager no matter what. But it was just getting to the point where these guys were just like, nah, I've had enough. But taking it away from Lord Veris, how much of an influence was Salah in getting this manager sacked, especially after what he said? What was it? A post on Twitter that he put up. Like, how much of it? I know we're going to talk about obviously his tenure in the Premier League in a second, but how much of an influence was he in getting the manager sacked?
We know how big of Salah has a huge ego. Rightly so for what he's done in the Premier League. You have to give him credit, of course. He scored a number of goals, but these things have been happening before. Even if you remember, with Klopp had an issue with Salah as well in the way he projected himself, but Salah has a little bit more respect for the Klopp because Klopp won stuff. Salah doesn't. What happened is that Slot was already at the start trying to put Salah on the bench. And you know how big players are. They don't like that sort of stuff. Maybe I've not had a conversation with them. So he's probably thinking it's a bit similar to what happened with Moyes and Ferguson, like with the other players. I'm not saying obviously to that extent, but you're seeing that the guy that understands you, that you have a lot of respect for, and then you're having a guy that you come in, he's changing the way you play in a system that is not conducive to what you're doing, especially this season. Like, you're having to like defend more. You're not getting what's it called? You're basically not playing well. You're not doing what you have to do on the pitch. And Salah is a big player. He probably has influence in the change room. He's saying like, listen, London, this guy does not know what he's doing. We're not playing well. Even the big players, for example, Van Dijk hasn't been playing well. Like, they're saying that, look at the system. Is the system helping? And he probably has such big influence. And remember, these are new people that are coming in. It's not like there's the old heads. They also have the new heads as well. And if you're a new head, you're not one of the most important players that you're probably going to speak to is Mohamed Salah. And if he's not happy, he could, in a way, dictate how the dressing room goes. It's very important. And because he's not happy, the dressing room is not happy. And obviously, he's got a lot of... they can back him up because of what the season has turned out to be. So Liverpool weren't winning enough. They weren't winning enough. So he's saying, like, listen, this is why they're not winning. I'm not in the team. He's not playing me. We're not all playing well. So proof is in the pudding. He's not good enough. And he hasn't proved anything, even though he won the league. But Salah has very, very big influence in that club. Like, he's a legend there. He's won the Premier League with them. He scored this amount of goals. He's got the bumper 400,000 a week contract. Like, you can't chat to him in that sense. So, unfortunately, he sees himself bigger than the manager. And when that happens, that's a dangerous thing. So, once you don't have the players like that on your side, is literally curtains for you. So I was surprised, as you said, I completely agree with you. You know, if you're constantly constantly arguing with the manager, you see yourself bigger than the manager, there should be one of two things. Either the manager goes quickly or Salah doesn't play for the rest of the season.
We talked about this last season. I think we said it as well.
Yeah.
When we saw how it was going, I think we said it, but yeah.
Yeah, but listen, Slot's gone. Obviously, we're talking about Mo Salah, and listen, irrespective of our feelings towards Mo Salah, there's no discrediting the fact that he is a Premier League legend, 2 Premier League So that he won Liverpool, won the Champions League, won 2 League
Yeah.
Cups, won the FA Cup, Club World Cup, UEFA Super Cup. I think he was third all-time goal scorer for Liverpool, 257 goals. I think he's the top goal scorer for Liverpool in the Premier League all time. Super consistent in the league in terms of his goal scoring. Like literally started a house on fire for Liverpool as soon as he got there. This is a question for both of you, K and ST. Where do we rank Mo Salah in the Premier League all time?
I'll let Kay answer this first. And I've got my answer. So
Where would I rank him? I haven't really thought of the list, but I'm thinking maybe fifth or seventh, 57th, something like that. Top 10 definitely,
Fair enough.
but I'm not sure if you cracked my top 10, my top five, sorry.
Fair. Which is fair. ST?
Without this is without thinking about it.
Yeah.
if I'm being honest, because there's so many other players, I'm saying I know this is gonna be, I'd say top 15 probably. For the simple fact is there are things like I have criticisms of him that are valid in the sense that there are some games that like he won't play well for a lot of games and will score. He'll have that one moment. However, that can't be ignored. He's done it more often than not. So that's why I'm saying top 15. I do think there are better players than him in the league, but I wouldn't get at you if you said top 10, if I'm being honest. But for me, personally, I think it's top 15.
Fair dues. I've got him in top 10. So
Yeah, I think he has to be top
I've
10.
got him in top 10. But listen, he's a legend for Liverpool.
Yeah.
He's a legend in the Premier League. Graced the Premier League, scored a bundle of goals, had so many highlight moments, and obviously led Liverpool to, along with obviously the Van Dijks of this world, Liverpool to two Premier League trophies. So you cannot deny the man is an all-time Premier League great. And wish him well whenever he got to do next. And we'll see what Iraola is going to do next, because Iraola is the next man in for the Liverpool job, but we'll speak more about him when we get to next season. But listen, let's quickly move on.
I know where this is going now, your favorite.
Because we got
I'm
to
gonna
talk.
let you take the
We,
I'm
we,
gonna let you
we,
take the lead.
we got to talk about the blue side of London. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea Football Club, it's been an absolute roller coaster. Finishing 10th in the league, no European football. ST, remember what I said to you when
Mhm.
Carrick got appointed and Liam Rossini got appointed, and I said, as long as they're doing badly and finishing low in the table, it's always a good day. And obviously, it has come to fruition. They have shot themselves in the foot and self-destructed, and now Chelsea have no European football this season. I will sum up their season absolutely brilliant. It's been a fantastic season for Chelsea Football Club. They could have done a little bit. I'm gonna give it a solid 8. The reason being is they could have finished a little bit lower. They could have finished a little bit lower and it would have got them a 10. Definitely. That 12th place, they could have beaten that 100%. Finished 14th, 15th. That would have made it a 10 out of 10 season for them. Absolutely fantastic season for Chelsea. You cannot deny how brilliant it is. FA Cup final and got beat up by Man
Man
City,
City.
got to the Champions League, got pissed all over by PSG. Bro, what was it? I think it was ST. Was it 6 games that they lost on the bounce in the league without
Without scoring.
scoring before
Yeah.
they
All
played
them red cards as well.
Nottingham Forest, I think.
before they played
And
Nottingham Forest and João Pedro
João
scored
Pedro,
that goal?
and they still lost their game.
Sensational. And what did you say? Sorry?
All the red cards as well.
All the red
Yeah.
cards as well, bro. They listen. Look, them red cards are crazy. They lost more players than. I just had to stop myself on what I was going to say there. Get us cancelled. But they got a lot of red cards. They got a lot of red cards. And listen, the
I think
sacking.
you know what you're gonna say. Yeah, I have no idea what you're gonna.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Maybe
If he
say
says
that,
what
but
he's saying, they've
They,
locked us off.
yeah, they lost Mascara. They got rid of him because he was fed up of their nonsense, bro. Then they then they employed Matisse, bruv, to take over, and it didn't work out. Listen,
Has he even
another.
got paid yet?
Who knows, bruv? Another bruv, he hasn't got paid in his cotton yet. Another light skinned Donny that got dealt with, just like what's it? Nancy got dealt with by Celtic, bruv. We don't seem to learn that these sorts of clubs don't like the melanin, bruv. So just allow it, bruv. What's the point? It's pointless because you know what's going to happen. They're going to get rid of you. Obviously, they then employed McFarlane, who took them nowhere. And yeah, bruv, listen, it's sensational. Chelsea Football Club, Blue Co, you are doing the Lord's work. £1 billion spent, and you lot are still rubbish, bruv. Like, you cannot deny that this is sensational work. And the most brilliant thing you lot did was buying crap Nacho with that stupid new tattoo that he's got on his back, bruv. That useless idiot, bruv. Is he even going to the World Cup? Did Argentina pick him?
I don't think they did actually.
Well, hopefully they didn't because he's rubbish, bruv. Like,
Let me have a look.
but
You
listen.
continue. Let me have a look.
But listen.
I'm quickly having a look as well.
The KA is looking. It's fine. Listen, but that was the biggest piece of business after the nonsense that they did with Mason Mount in selling him to us. Those criminals, bruv. The only thing we could do was repay the favor and give them crap Nacho, bruv. That guy is so rubbish. Yeah. Oh my days, bruv. This guy makes Luke Chadwick look like Cristiano Ronaldo. That's how rubbish this guy is, bruv. And the fact that the Chelsea fans have turned on him after they were trying to say that they were going to make him better is what makes it even better. But Blue Co, don't forget, you need Ugarte to unlock crap Nacho. So just send us the 45 mil, yeah? Those are the P's that we need, and you will be able to unlock crap Nacho that way. Because let's face it, you're not playing in Europe. Your season now, the League Cup starts in August. Just like you said it to us last season when we started our League Cup campaign in August. Your one starting in August as well, innit? Like, this is sensational. Did Argentina pick him?
They didn't.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't. And well deserved as well, bro, because he's absolute garbage. Trash, bro. Trash. Listen, when I tell you, see them newspapers that you see on the trains, yeah? And they've been stomped out in the middle of the night, thrown up in, and just left in the corner. That is crap Nacho, bro. That's how rubbish he is, bro. Like, sensational. But, we do have a problem. Because, obviously, Chelsea have now employed Xabi Alonso. He's on a 4-year deal. And not head coach, he is the manager of Chelsea Football Club. And irrespective of what you believe about Real Madrid and how that went, and we understand that there's a lot of politics involved with Real Madrid, it's the highest scrutiny you can get in club football. We cannot forget what he did at Bayern Leverkusen. And I think this is the type of manager that can unfortunately change Chelsea's fortunes around. And yeah, it is a problem for the rest of the league. KAST, go on.
If he went into the start, if he started the season with this team,
not this
team, you
team.
think the best part? There's no guarantee that they'll get. They'll get the transfer that season that they want. So he could go in with this team and maybe one signing or two signings.
Nah, he'll definitely listen because he'll understand that because Chelsea, what they need 2 centre backs. 2 experienced 27, 28-year-old centre-backs. They need a right back. They need a right back. The left back, it depends because Kokova is being linked with Barcelona. But if he stays with Hato, I think they're all right. Obviously, I know Reece James at right back, but they need a backup. Gusto's not good enough. Achepong's not good enough.
Chelsea want to keep him because he's got a lot of shooters.
They need wingers. Their wingers are all rubbish. Their wingers are all rubbish. Well, actually, do you know what? I don't mind Pedro Neto. I think he's decent. But crap Nacho is crap. Esteval's not bad.
Gittins is horrible.
Gittins is horrible. I don't know why they made that transfer in the first place. It made absolutely no sense to me. And they need another centre forward, bro, because Delap is doo-doo. I'm so glad, that we missed out on him.
Yeah.
Because he is rubbish, bro. He is rubbish, bro. Oh my! But the thing is, ST, remember when we were being linked with him? I told you I don't want him because, bro, he's rubbish, bro. He is garbage. But Chelsea need a good 6-7 players, 6-7 and a goalkeeper. How could I forget they need a goalkeeper as well? So the Chelsea need at least 6-7 players in this transfer window, and I think they'll give Xabi Alonso because they're going to get rid of a lot of players. I think they're going to give Xabi Alonso the money to do so because he's going to have a lot of work to do in that sense. But They are horrible, but it's been a great season for them, and let it continue next season. That's all I got to say on that.
But Cole Palmer's coming back as well. He should be coming back stronger
Well, you would think that
because we're
under
gonna get the
under
summer
Javi
off.
Alonso, he would look a lot better than he has. Don't get me wrong; it's been an injury hit season for him this season. But you would think that he would look a lot better under Javi Alonso, and he's going to get them tactically set up very, very well. So it's not going to be this Chelsea. All banter aside, this Chelsea that we've seen last season isn't going to be the same Chelsea we're going to see this season. And remember, they're doing the 1 game a week thing this season as
Yeah,
well. So he's going to have plenty of time to implement his ideas and his
I think
philosophy
that's
and get
so.
it across.
I think that's so important for Cole Palmer. I think
Mm,
he hasn't had a summer off in years.
yeah,
Club World Cup,
since he burst on the
Euros,
scene, yeah,
since he's best in the
yeah,
scene. So
and then yeah,
Under
this summer off,
21s and all these things as well. Yeah.
mm,
yeah,
mm,
having a summer off and playing one game a
mm.
week. I think we're gonna see Cole Palmer of a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I agree.
100%, 100%. People, listen, we've got to leave that there. I know some people wanted Newcastle talk, but we'll let Tooth do that on a different day because we got
Osula.
we got to go,
That's
we
his.
got to get into quickly.
Team of the
Um,
season.
the team of the season, player of the
The young,
season, and all
the
that.
young player of the season.
So let's start off with the young player of the
So,
season. Let's
so how
start.
are we doing it? We're just going through each saying on.
Yeah,
Who do you
no,
think?
every man's gonna say which one, and then we'll come up with we'll see, we'll
Consensus.
come up with a unanimous. So, young player of the season, ST. We'll start with you. Who you got?
Groupie. He's been fantastic this year.
Yeah. What is it? He scored. How many scores scored in the league? Was it 13, 14 goals in the league or
13,
something
14.
like that?
But also, not only that, his performances for someone so young who's never played
Yeah.
English football, and he showed his technique. You have those players, they're playing at a team, but these guys are going to be really, really, really good in the future. They're going to be at a really big team. That's him.
Yeah, and the fact that
Dangerous,
he's
he stayed
obviously
dangerous.
he helped Bournemouth to finish sixth place in the Europa
Yeah.
League spot is madness. KA,
I was going to say O'Reilly.
fair.
He's a really
Yeah,
There's
that's my
no
yeah.
shout.
there's no wrong answers.
There's no
Well,
answer, yeah.
unless it's a stupid answer. But O'Reilly, state your case.
No, I think obviously he was solid. One of Man City's consistent players throughout the season, whether left back or centre midfield. Towards the end of the season, we saw he started chipping in goals. He was just putting in good performances, and I feel like he should have won. Even in the real PFA title, I feel like he should have won Young Player.
Which is fair. Listen, I agree with the two that you lot have said. I think they're the two front runners. I know there's other names. I think Lewis Hall's one, Mateus Fernandez, Shirky, the names that have been mentioned as well.
Well, like
Uh,
even Max Salmon won the youngest player, but I don't think he should have won that. I think that's just called
mm,
prisoner of the moment. Like
oh
guy
yeah,
hardly
yeah,
played. The guy hardly
yeah.
played. Yeah,
That's
he had
nonsense.
cameos, but and got
Yeah,
obviously the
no,
goal against Everton. But yeah,
yeah.
nah, he shouldn't have won it.
I am gonna go. I'm gonna side with ST on this one. I want to go Croupy. I think the fact that obviously I know, don't get me wrong, both guys first time in the Premier League, both have been sensational for their clubs. Obviously O'Reilly, I know playing out of position, but I think
And also scoring goals in the final
yeah,
against.
scoring goals as
So
well.
I get,
But
yeah,
the
like
reason why I put Croupy ahead is just because Croupy was playing in a lesser team, and the amount of goals that he scored. I know he's playing up front, but the amount of goals that he scored playing in a lesser team, and obviously Bournemouth helping Bournemouth get to the Europa League, and the fact that getting to Europe for the first time, I think he just edges it for me. But O'Reilly is fine. I don't have any qualms
yeah.
between either of those two. Um, right.
Creepy needs to come to Arsenal, man. Come on, hold the champion, mate.
Who?
Creepy.
Well, I think
Creepy needs to come to
PSG.
us.
I think he's going
PSG will
PSG
go.
at the
We'll go
moment.
PSG.
Yeah,
He's fresh.
PSG are the
You'll go PSG.
front runners, but
He's a
yeah,
perfect. He's perfect for PSG. The way they
uh,
play, he's under Enrique's. Enrique likes 25.
and
People
yeah,
25 under hungry technical ability. He's perfect for PSG.
no, I hear it. Next one, we are going manager of the year. KA, we'll start off with you.
Now I want you to start and say his Name.
Okay, we're starting with you.
Go on, bro.
Of course, it has to be Arteta, man. It has to be Arteta. Yeah, obviously, he won. He brought Arsenal the league. He brought them back to the pinnacle, the top of the mountain. He, um, he came into this season with all this pressure of enough is enough, no more process. We're here, we're ready. You must win. Club never came out and said it, but it was there. Everyone felt it. Everyone knew it. You had even Arsenal fans, no names mentioned, the truth, anti-truth, calling for his head throughout the season. That then all of a sudden wants to celebrate Arsenal and Arteta. But anyway, let's not go into that. But no, yeah, it has to be Arteta for me because I feel like the way I talked about in the Arsenal section, the way he managed the season. You could talk about his flaws in game management and and his pragmatic start way of approaching games, but as a whole, from start to finish, I felt like he was the best manager. I think he implemented his style of play. He managed the season, managed to win and get Arsenal. So my phone flashed. Uh, um, Managed to get him through each section of the season and get the momentum going, no matter what the situation was. Whether there was a time where Arsenal lost several defenders at a time, Arsenal lost several attackers at a time, and he managed to find a way, change things a little bit, plug in players, and keep it consistent, and manage to see the team through. So, Mikel Arteta takes it for me.
Fair. It's a valid argument. ST.
There's two. So Mikel Arteta and Iraola. Obviously, honorable mention to Carrick, but he didn't do the whole season. So I'm not putting him. You know what? I was gonna be controversial, but if I'm being honest, Arteta deserves to win the manager of the season. You win the league, especially with all the under pressure that he did as well. The amount of clean sheets that he got when you win the league as well, and when you win it by, I think Arsenal should have won it by more. You've been the most consistent team. I think majority of the time he's made the correct decisions. I think that he is the manager of the season and he deserves it.
Fair.
But it was
Listen,
between him and Iraola for me. I was going between those two.
Raiola obviously bringing Bournemouth to their first, obviously Europa League spot, is valid. I think Emery has had a very good season
Oh my
in,
God, I was
Yeah, I forgot
hoping
about
no
him.
one mentioned.
in the league.
I forgot about
Listen,
him.
considering when you look at
Nah,
when you look at Arsenal fans are so bitter. When you look at
nah.
when you look at the way they started, which was
Yeah,
horrible, right? When you look at the fact that man had no money to spend
yeah.
in the summer, right? And he got this team to finish fourth. I'm not going to
And when
mention the
they,
other thing because this is only for the Premier League, but the fact that
yeah,
he got this team to finish fourth and they were there or thereabouts in December, but obviously fell off. I think he deserves credit. Don't get me wrong. I don't put him above Iraola. I'm just mentioning him. For me, I agree. It's going to be a landslide for Arteta because I agree because of everything. However, if I was doing this based on what I think, I'm giving it to Lebre at Sunderland. I think what he has done for
hmm
Sunderland is sensational. I know there was quite a bit of money spent for them. I completely understand that. But considering that in the past, what was it, 2, 3 seasons, the majority of teams that have come up have gone straight back down. And not only he didn't just survive in the Premier League, he
he made them
got
Europa
them
League.
European football. Sunderland fans can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the first. If it's not the first time, it's the first time since probably the 70s and 80s that they're playing European football. Um, and I just
Wait,
think,
didn't they play European football with Kevin Phillips times where they finished like third or something like
did
that or
they?
fourth? I'm sure they played.
I
Maybe they
think they
didn't get
did.
through the qualifiers, but
I think they
I
went to
think,
the qualifiers and they didn't
yeah, I
Oh,
qualify
and
think
they
they
for
got
it.
didn't
knocked
get
out.
there. Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
think
But I
so.
think the fact that this is just
Yeah,
they don't have to go through no qualifiers. They're playing European football for the first time in a long time. I'll say that then. I think the job that he's done is absolutely sensational. I know
Thank
Tooth will
you.
hate me for saying it, but I would give it to him. But I agree, Arteta at a landslide because of winning the league. I don't disagree with you, man. But I just think Sunderland manager did an absolutely sensational job.
Also,
Uh,
before we finish as well, I'm going to say this as well. Remember at the start of the season where I said Jacko would be the most important, would be the most underrated
yeah,
player to sign. I said this at the start of the season because
yeah,
I'm like,
and
Sunderland, he's done.
yeah,
It makes sense.
he did bits. He did
Yeah,
bits at Sunderland 100%. And you gotta respect it. He played a pivotal role in the team. So right now, team of the season. I don't think we need to discuss goalkeeper. I think that's pretty standard. I
yeah.
know, Le Mans was good for us, but there's only one
But
man,
David Raya,
David Raya, in that. Obviously, his third time winning
clean sheet, Golden
Golden
Glove.
Glove. Right back.
I've been going back and forth about this. Um, if I'm honest, I know he's been injured a little bit, but I would say Timber. I think Timber has been. I think Timber is when he's fit, he's the best, and he's been the best. Him and Reece James are the ones that contribute to it. But I
Yeah,
think personally, for me, Timber has
yeah.
been
Reece James has been injured a bit more than
more. But
Timber.
Timber, Timber has been
I think if they had the same level of being injured, I think Reece James could have
all
snuck
pipping.
it.
Yeah,
But I think Timber. I can't. I know Nunez for City's had a decent season, but I think even with the injury towards the end of the season, I think Timber been the best right back
me
in
too.
the league. I don't think Kay is going to disagree.
Yeah,
Um, so
It's, do you know what? I wouldn't have picked Timber, but I can't think of anyone else right now. So I don't think anyone's really had a standout
nah,
season
nah,
in right back. So it's like Timber gets it by default.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
what position does Robinson play? Right back as well?
No, he's left back.
Left back, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So Timber. Do we need to? We don't need to talk about centre backs. Standard.
Oh yeah,
Saliba and Gabriel.
Gabriel. Yeah,
Don't believe there's nothing else to say
yeah.
in terms of those two. Left back.
Lewis Hall for me. I think okay, I'll elaborate. So Lewis Hall has been defensively very sound in a Newcastle team which concedes a lot of goals,
Mm-hmm.
but technically he's very good. He's always impressed me when he's played against the top teams and the little teams. He's always kept playing to a very high standard, always like a 7 or 8 out of 10. And when he plays well, he plays very well. I think if England are looking at the future left back, he is the future left back of English football. I think he's I think he's a very good player. And and I know obviously Chelsea Hato has now is a very good left back and stuff like that. But I don't know how they let him go. I
No, one
really
hundred
rate,
percent.
I really rate Lewis Hall. Technically, he's very good. I think he's been really good this season. It was between him and Robinson, but I think Lewis Hall for me just shades it because he's just been really consistent and very good this year. So I give it to him.
Okay.
um,
I thought you were just
I
going to
think
give it to the person that you said for young player of the year, personally.
that's what I was about to say. I think I have to give it to. I think I have to give it to O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't play the whole season there, I think he was the most dominant and effective in that position when he was playing there. So I think O'Reilly gets it for me.
Fair. I can understand O'Reilly. Um, I can understand Lewis Hall, but I think where how Newcastle finished, I don't think I could give it to him just because of that, even though I know
hmm
he had a level of
Yeah.
consistency.
hmm
Me personally, I'm giving it to Truefair from Bournemouth. I think he has been
Oh yeah, he's
outstanding.
been really good.
The way how he's gotten up and down, I think the way how he's linked with the attacks. Obviously, he's been a part of that 18 game unbeaten run. Obviously, he played a pivotal role in winning at the Emirates against Arsenal. Was very good
What a
against that.
trophy.
Huh?
I say what a trophy.
Obviously, he was very good against us when we played away there. And the level of consistency from him, I just think he's been really good, and it's one of those guys that people won't necessarily wouldn't have necessarily looked at But I think I think he's my left back. But we'll leave it to you lot in the comments for left back. Are you going
No,
with?
you know what? To be fair, O'Reilly should. If I'm being honest, I would say Hall, but I don't mind giving it to O'Reilly. I think
Fair,
O'Reilly's been very good.
fair.
So
All right. Well, all right. Well,
we
that's
can do
two.
O'Reilly. We can do
All right, we
O'Reilly.
can do O'Reilly
Yeah.
for left back. I'm assuming we're going a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2 diamond or whatever it is. But anyway,
We'll do 4-3-3 because that's
uh,
the thing.
in midfield. Um, so I would say in midfield, the number 10 is Bruno. I don't think we've got any complaints there.
Yeah.
Obviously 21 assists, 20 with a dubious 21. So that's fine. I'm guessing we have no arguments about Rice.
No arguments.
All right, cool. So it's the third spot. Which midfielder? ST will start with you. Who's the other midfielder that we're going with?
So I was trying to think about this. It's between two. It's one that I prefer and one that I think. So for me, I would give it to Adam Wharton. It was close between him and Elliot Anderson for me personally. And I feel sorry, and I feel sorry because there's a lot of people, like even Morgan Gibbs, right, as well. He could have had a really good shout for it. It's just that I think that because Bruno had a really good season, I would have put Bruno in. It would have been between Bruno and Morgan Gibbs, right? But I agree, Bruno. But for me personally, I think Adam Wharton's been fantastic, even in a struggling Crystal Palace side. I think he's been progressive with the football. I just think he's been very good, very consistent in the big games. But it's tough.
Fair.
There's
Listen,
going to be a lot of names that I forgot, but I think it's him.
I personally didn't think of him when I was doing this, but it's a fair shout.
Yeah, he didn't come to mind for me either.
KA, who's the other midfielder that you're saying?
I would have given it to Anderson. I think I was going back and forth between two players, and that was Bruno G at Newcastle and Anderson. And I think Anderson edges it just for his level that he played at throughout the season and consistency.
So we got Wharton and Anderson. Neither of those two, I looked at them, but neither of those two for me. I've got two, and my two is Soboslai at Liverpool. I think he was their most consistent player.
Yeah.
Obviously chipping in with the with I think he got like 6 goals and 7 assists in the league, and I think he kind of carried Liverpool on his back. And he's the only one that you wouldn't say like very rarely had a bad game for him. I think the other one for me is Casemiro. I think Casemiro was sensational, especially with the goals that he scored, considering he's supposed to be the holding midfielder. 9 goals that he got, his highest goal scoring season. The fact that he's been pivotal along with Bruno in terms of getting us to where we finished in the league. Never had a bad
I'll give
game.
him his flowers, but I don't know.
For me personally,
in contention for
he's been very good, but I don't even know.
For me personally,
yeah, I don't think so.
For me personally, but my whole thing is that all right, cool. You got Elliot Anderson, you got Adam Wharton. How were their seasons better than his? Because you can't look at the league table and tell me it's better than his. You can't look at the numbers and tell me it's better than his. So how was it better than his?
I get what you're saying, but I think that for what it is, yeah. I think for the way that they played and the games that I know that Nottingham Forest won and Crystal Palace won, I do think there were times where literally in the midfield they were running the show. I know Casemiro's had a fantastic season. I agree with that, but I think us from watching, we know that Casemiro played well in a lot of the games, but he wasn't like running the midfield, if you understand. And I know that's not his game, but in the sense that sometimes in certain games, even when he did get GA and stuff like that, the game would bypass him. Whereas I think the other two, the game didn't bypass him as much. But I do agree, Casemiro had a fantastic season. Numbers wise, them two can't chat to him. So I understand where you're coming from, but for me personally, I wouldn't have put him there. But I get why you do. I'm not gonna say why he didn't, but I understand what you're saying. If you understand what I'm saying, like
which is fine. I don't disagree with the fact that he wasn't the guy because of what Bruno was doing, but I think he was integral into the way that
Mm.
Kobe and Bruno could carry on playing. And again, me personally, all right, fair enough. If it's not him, Sabowski, again. He was the
yeah,
conductor in that Liverpool midfield. He was the one that was making them tick. He was the one that was getting the important goals. Again, I don't see Wharton or Elliot Anderson this season as
it's
much
fair.
of how good they are. I don't think they had a better season than him.
I think
But
Anderson got a couple of goals, didn't he?
he did, and don't be wrong.
Yeah,
As I said, from a player standpoint, I rate the both of them highly. As I said, Elliot Anderson's going to City, which is why I haven't said anything about United because he's going City. I want Adam Wharton at Manchester United. I rate him highly, but I'm just looking at their seasons in the league, and I'm just like, one finished 15th, the other one finished what 16th or whatever it was.
yeah,
Compared to the two that I'm talking about, one finished third, the other finished fifth. And yes, by the club standard, it wasn't a brilliant season, but I'm just thinking about the players individually. I just think they had better seasons than those two. But
fair.
so we'll leave that one to the comment section. Who have you
Yeah,
got?
leave that one to the comments.
Sabowski, Casemiro, Wharton, Elliot Anderson. Do you want to sneak Gibbs White in there? Do you want to let
Yeah,
us know? Let us know what you think in the comment section. All right, front three. I'm guessing we have no arguments about Haaland
yeah.
through the
You go
middle. Don't even bother.
Thiago over him.
I think Igor Thiago over him for sure. Um, and then I think those two are shoot. I think no arguments with Thiago and Haaland. I just think it's a third spot. I personally don't see an argument, but I want to hear if there is one. So for the third spot, ST, who are you saying?
Obviously, you've got Krupi, you've got Semenyo, you've got all these other things. Because I picked him as a young player of the year, I do think Krupi deserves to be in the team in the last bit. I can understand if people pick Semenyo. I can understand if people pick Shirky. I can understand people if they picked other players. But for me,
Well,
I'm
Morgan
gonna give it
Rogers as well.
Morgan Rogers, all these other guys. But for me, I'm gonna give it Krupi as a young player of the year. I think he's been fantastic. I think Morgan Rogers had a good season, but there was a time where he didn't, for a period, he didn't play well.
Mm.
That's when Aston Villa as a team weren't playing well. So I think Krupi's been very consistent this year. I'm going to give it to him. And Semenyo as well. In terms of goal scoring, I'm giving him a shout out. He's been very good. And for Bournemouth, he's been very good. However, even in the games that for Man City that he didn't play well, he wasn't great. And for consistency wise, I just have to give it to Krupi for me personally. But if you said Semenyo, if you said even Morgan Rogers, I'm not going to argue with you. Like,
Yeah, I personally would give it to Semenyo. I think for both Bournemouth and City,
mm,
he's made it. He's been impactful. I think the goal, his best goal scoring record. I think the goals that he scored cannot be denied. I don't have an issue with Krupi. I don't. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I think it personally is between those two. I know a lot of people will argue for Morgan Rogers. I just think that, as you said, there was a period of time where that there was a lapse in the league, and that's when they were going through a difficulty, and that's when we took that 10-point gap that they had and changed it,
yeah.
and then put ourselves on top of them. So yeah, KA for you.
My striker. I think I think I'll have to go groupie, like all right aside, but I think Jokovic does and it deservedly get say honorable mention. Gets his flowers for his
What do you
first
get? 15 goals in the league.
14, 21
14.
goals,
14, I think.
21 goals all competitions. So no, I think that's a good season. Good season. Had got some vital goals for Arsenal and made some very key contributions in games, even though the GA stats may not say it. But he was very influential in that team. So definitely gets an honorable mention
Fair
for
dues.
me. But no, I think it makes sense. I'll give it to Krupi.
Fair. So that's it. Groupie. So that's Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, O'Reilly, Rice, Fernandez, We'll leave the other spot to the comments. Thiago, Haaland, and Krupi in the team of the season. Fair dues. I don't think you can really argue with that one, to be honest. Finally,
Subs bench.
huh?
Fill the subs with all the honorable mentions.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
Le
listen,
Mans,
Le Mans for us, Xhaka,
Xhaka,
Danny Welbeck, um,
Morgan Gibbs White,
Morgan Gibbs White, Shirky.
Cherky.
I'm just trying to think if there's anybody else. I think anyone else. I think the debate around obviously who gets the upper midfield place, whoever doesn't get it, obviously whoever
Robinson
get,
as a defender.
yeah,
Robinson as well.
yeah, um, yeah. I think that's it. I don't think there's
That's it,
anyone
really. Yeah.
else really. But finally, player of the season, Ka player of the season.
Should I even bother speaking? I was like,
Do you know
should
ST?
I
You
even
know
bother?
ST. This is how you know, yeah, that he never watched United talk. This is how you know, which is why you're saying what you said. But K, your player of the season.
Nah, I'll be honest, I didn't get through all of the United talk, but mostly I usually do. I usually do. That's why I come with the receipts because I be hear what you guys would be saying. I normally watch this one. I didn't get through because I just thought it would be a Bruno love fest, man. I'm like,
Mm.
You
Bro,
should know that's not us.
you should know
You
how
should
we are still.
know that's
We
not
criticize.
us.
You should know we criticize Bruno all the
mate,
time.
I've seen some shameless stuff online, social media from
Yeah, but
Man
that's
United
not
Yeah,
us
but
fans
they're
though.
not
when it
us.
That's not
comes
us
to
though.
Bruno like trying to clutch onto something and to try and salvage or make save face. I don't know what they're going with, but
It's not us, bro. Don't worry.
yeah. Anyway, player of the season. I'm gonna go with a bit of a wild one, and give it to a goalkeeper. Give it to David Raya.
Oh, so we're all agreed then.
We're all going agreement
All
then.
agreed.
Yeah,
I didn't. It
yeah,
Oh,
didn't
is
take
it?
yeah,
long. We're all
yeah, yeah,
agreed
yeah,
then.
yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I actually thought, wow, okay, all right, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
David
because
Raya.
in the previous pod, if you were watching, I said David Raya for the way you played football and the amount of pressure that Arteta put on the defense. Not only his saves, which were fantastic, but his distribution. He also started your attacks, but he was so consistent, bro. It was didn't go below an
Obviously,
8 out of 10.
as an Arsenal fan, I agree, but there were a couple shaky moments. Obviously, Arsenal
All
fan,
right,
you
the
feel it
Wolves.
more.
All right, we
He had a
remember the
couple
Wolves thing.
shaky moments
We
and a
remember
couple
the
of shaky
Wolves.
1-2 passes, but
Yeah,
that's minor compared to the whole season.
Bro,
But there
but he's
was
bro.
been
times where
fantastic.
They always say to you, for you to win the league, you need a goalkeeper that's going to save you 5 or 6 points. And
mm,
David Raya did that. There was a period of time just before the Wolves game where this guy was just saving anything. Didn't matter what it was, top corner. He was. I wouldn't say it was ultimate David De Gea, but he was close. And I just think that the level of consistency, the 3 Golden Gloves,
sorry.
the fact, huh?
Look, I love it because when you were David, I thought you were gonna say Schmeichel or something like that, but you
Oh
said
no,
David De
no,
Gea.
No,
I
no,
was like,
no,
no.
but
whoa.
no. Everyone remembers the 2 seasons that David De Gea had, where he was just
Well, he was on
absolutely
a mad tick.
unbelievable in terms of the saves that he making. Ka remembers the FA Cup game where Arsenal should have beat
Arsenal
us
were
like
dominating.
6-2 or whatever it was, and this guy was just like Fantastic Four, Mister Elastico from Fantastic Four, saving everything. But David Raya for me has been
Yeah.
fantastic, and for me, I know a lot of people will say Declan Rice. I don't have an issue with that, but I just think without Raya, as good as your defensive unit is with Saliba and Gabriel and a great season that they've had, I think without David Raya, I think that those 5 or 6 points could have swung and given Man City the title. So,
Yeah.
I
I
agree.
urge anyone to go and watch a compilation of this season's
bro,
saves. Oh, and then
crazy,
come back in the
Bro,
comments
crazy,
madness.
and tell
The
us.
West Ham save
bro,
alone, bro.
bro,
I said,
crazy. The
nah.
West Ham say,
Brighton save.
Brighton.
He had a
I
save
think there was a
against
save against
Tottenham.
us, ST as well. I think there was a save against us in the home game. I mean,
Yeah,
our home game, not their home game.
yeah,
Our home game. I think off of Brian and Buemo.
yeah.
Bro, there's so many saves that David Raya has made, and I think he deserves it. I don't mind if people say Rice. I know obviously United fans are going to call us traitors because we're not saying Bruno. You know, Bruno,
Yeah,
as we said, Bruno's had a fantastic season,
but
breaking
we're
the assist
honest.
record 100%. I just don't see it as a Bale type season where Bale
No.
was just the best player in the league by far. Um, But I think David Raya is unanimous. So yeah, brilliant.
And about Rice as well, he's had a fantastic season, but there was also, I would say there was slightly more few games where Rice wasn't great. It's harsh because I do think Rice has been one of the best players this season. But I think in terms of pure consistency, like David Raya has been absolutely brilliant. And even watching him, I'm like, yeah, what a keeper. What a keeper. And in fact, this guy is not Spain's number one, so I don't know what Spain are doing.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
crazy. It's
Wow.
crazy. It's pretty rough,
yeah,
crazy. I don't
yeah.
get it. I don't get it. But bruv, listen, we've seen in a lot of these World Cup squads that we've seen eyebrow raising picks. So we shouldn't be surprised. But listen, people, that's it. We're going to wrap it up there. Let us know what you think about in the comment section. Let us know what you think about Arsenal. I didn't hear most of it, so I don't know what to say about it. But let us know what you think about the Arsenal segment
Just
between
give us our
KA
just give us
and
our clap.
ST.
Champions.
But obviously, they are the Premier League champions, so we had to get their piece. Let us know what you think about Manchester City and Mascara. Do you believe that he can
Oh my
continue the
God.
work that Pep Guardiola has done? Or is it a transitional phase? Are they there for the taking? Let us know what you think about Liverpool, where they right to sack Arne Slot. What do you think Iraola's going to do coming in? Do you think Liverpool can get back, considering they were the favourites to win the league this season? Let us know what you think about Chelsea. Is it long may it continue in terms of their suffering, or do you think that Jabi Alonso can turn it around? Will he be that X factor in this team that will get Chelsea back to where they belong? And let us know what you think about of our manager of the season, player of the season, young player of the season, and team of the season. Do you have any objections? Do you think there's some players or manager that we haven't mentioned? Let us know who you think the third midfielder should be in our team of the season and the player of the season. Do you think, while being harsh on Bruno, should it be him considering what he did? Do you think it was Declan Rice the driving force in Arsenal's midfield, or do you believe that there's somebody else? I don't. Gabriel could be the other one as well. We want to hear from you. And as usual, before we go, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Get the likes up, get the subscriptions up, and at the same time, share. We are here. And don't forget to join our social media pages as well. Links are in the description. I want to say thank you very much to my guys, ST and Mr. KA. KA obviously coming in the second half of the season, ST obviously consistent throughout, but I want to thank these guys for this domestic season, because without these two, it would have just been me on my lonesome. So I want to say much appreciation to these two, man, especially KA, giving us that little bit of difference with Arsenal. And obviously it paid off because they are the Premier League champions. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
No, I appreciate it, man. More to come. Like I said, the work doesn't stop. We've got a busy summer, but I appreciate you for always inviting us. It's always a pleasure to be on the podcast, whether or not everybody agrees with us or not. We would like more representation, so please feel free not to be shy. Um, we work hard to actually get this content out for you. We always put our opinions, whether we don't agree with it or not. And at the end of the day, what channel do you find which has Premier League, which has athletics, which has boxing, which has UFC, which has NBA talk that's pending, which has um, which has all these sports? You know what I mean? Like, we are very diverse in the content that we provide for you. So just continue to support us. And the more you support us, the more we can churn out this content for you, the more that we can get different faces, the more that we can give you different aspects of our lives as well. So long may it continue. That's all I can say, man.
Yeah, and I echo all of that. And shout out to yeah, all the support, all the people watching, the four people that have been riding for us for the last few years, and long may the community and the fan base grow and the family. So no, I appreciate it all. Love to you guys always. I
Yeah.
know we always laugh and joke and troll each other, talk about how people wearing shirts from 20 years ago in 1999 season, but like it's always
It's
love,
okay.
it's always
People are just
banter.
surviving about Champions League. They haven't done Champions League never in their lives. About wrecking people's houses, certain people dancing with
Like
other men
I
in the
actually was
way
gifted to him
we all
like on his
envision.
fifth birthday. He cherished it ever since, mate.
Yeah, of course. This is prime. This is
Of
prime.
course,
This is the
mate. Like
shirt that
is
when
that
Man United.
99
This
or
is
2000? What is it?
99. And this is
Yeah, I
where,
thought he
you
was
know what?
99, mate.
Yeah, but you know what? That's the year when Man United won the Champions League. Has Arsenal won that? I don't know. I don't know. You haven't had this. So it's cool. It's cool.
Oh,
Touche,
this is why we love these guys, man. 100%. But listen, people coming up. Yeah, as we said, the grind don't stop. Coming up, World Cup preview. We'll be coming up back with these two guys because all three of us have got teams invested, even though it's not my number one. But we've all got countries invested in the World Cup. It will be back, whether the truth turns up or not.
We're doing it,
NBA
man.
talk
Forget him.
will be
Forget
back.
Forget
him,
him. Yeah,
man.
he's done. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
it's
man.
not
respect
done.
Kane.
No, it's done. It's done for KA because of
No,
what
it's not done.
happened.
No, he's too nervous. He knows
Yeah, I know he's
that
bricking it. But I said,
that anyway,
whether he's here or not, we're gonna wrap up the NBA season
Sean, we
because
have to do it this weekend.
yeah, because depending on obviously what happens in the game due tonight, in it, but depending on what happens
Tonight,
on
man.
that.
Yeah, the
Um,
Biscuits.
but yeah, World Cup preview coming, people. We need another boxing talk. Actually, there's a lot to talk about, so we're going to be getting that done as well. And at some point in the not too distant future, probably after we wrap up the NBA season, athletics talk will be coming back as well. So,
Yeah.
and you know that's our favorite time of the year. So
Gout,
definitely.
gout, gout, gout.
Boy,
Man, like go.
Gal.
Bro.
You got no, like Lyle's doing his talking even more
Oh
at the
my
moment.
days, bro.
Little boy
Like
and his teammate. Oh, it's a mad thing.
it's a mad thing. But listen,
And bring
people.
back tennis talk as well, man.
Oh, bro, you
Yes.
know how long we were, bro. Djokovic, if he could have just done it in the French, like we just been waiting for that. But yeah, definitely gonna probably bring back
Jerez
tennis
has
talk
to
for
win it now.
Wimbledon.
If he
Bring back,
doesn't win it, if
yeah. If
Zverev
Zverev
doesn't
doesn't win
win
it,
it,
if he doesn't win
no,
it, then
he's never
honestly,
winning.
bro, he needs to retire. He needs to retire
Yeah.
if he doesn't win it because it couldn't be any easier. But listen, people, that is the domestic football done for another season. Stay safe out there. Be safe. And we shall see you very, very soon. Peace.
Peace.